welcome to Meet Your Monsters. If you think those goddamn frozen burritos ain't good for nothing except a hippie when he's high on weed, then this is the podcast for you. My name is Abram Aiken. These are my friends.
Kathleen.
Colby.
Matt.
Sarah.
Derek.
For you at home, Meet Your Monsters is a podcast in which I show my friends horror movies that I love, and we find out if they love them too, or if they just think my taste in movie sucks. Who's talking? Shut up now!
It's Abe's birthday, so he can do whatever he wants.
How's everybody doing? What's happening?
Doing well.
Yeah. A-okay. Okay, this week's movie is the 2014 brand new Tusk. So I'm going to say spoilers because this is a new movie. Usually we watch movies that are old as fuck. This one is still in theaters. Tusk was written and directed by Kevin Smith and starring Michael Park, Justin Long, Haley Joel Osment, and Genesis Rodriguez. I wonder if she related to Robert Rodriguez?
I think it's his daughter,
I think that's
isn't it?
racist.
I have no idea.
They gotta be cousins at least. Edit that part out.
It's not racist. Maybe a little bit. Okay, so this is a really interesting thing for us because, in a sense, this is our very own origin story. Because it comes back in a weird circle.
Who's gonna be the loser? Whoever draws the shortest straw has to be Haley Joel Osment.
Oh, he turned out to be amazing. I thought I was going to hate him.
Yeah.
His little fat face, and he
did a
he
fine
was
job.
charming.
What I'm referring to here, though, is that oh my god,
Thanks for being attacked.
a rabid weasel. The only reason we really do this podcast is because I was at work in my little office job listening to Hollywood Babylon, which is the Kevin Smith podcast with Ralph Garman, and I said to Colby sometime later, hey, we should do a horror movie podcast. And he said, yes, we should. And then a week later, he still thought we should. And so
That's how I knew it.
And so we did, yeah.
And then like 4 days later, I bought a microphone, so we were stuck.
Wow.
Yeah, because I really remember, like, I always have a million fucking schemes. And then one day he said, hey, when are we going to do that podcast thing? And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, let's do that. And then he bought a microphone, which was the biggest step, really.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's a leap forward.
Then I recruited Matt at work, and Kathleen joined in.
And I was like, what's a podcast?
And I said, I don't know, but I think we talk. And here we are, what, 20 fucking episodes in? 20 something? Which is pretty good for
how
it's a good
often
run.
I quit. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the shitless layabouts that we've all become. I mean, shit, I'm in my mid-30s almost. Fucking... But anyway, so what's so cool about this is because since really it was the Kevin Smith podcast that gave me the idea, and Ralph Garman puts together all the Hollywood Babylon, and I pretty much just kind of ripped off his whole formula where we just break it up into segments and do that thing. So we've really stolen that whole podcast thing, and then he fucking makes a horror movie. We do a podcast about horror movies, and he makes a horror movie.
And for those who don't listen, his ringtone, Justin Long's character's ringtone, was music from the Hollywood Babylon.
Is that what it was? Because I was like, okay, they're making it seem like this is important.
Yeah. What's that before? Do that before one segment.
Fuck, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's Al Pacino. He's doing the...
Ralph Garman does his Al Pacino thing, but I don't remember what segment that's for.
Hollywood Helper.
Hollywood Helper.
That's what it is.
No, it was not.
Yes,
is it Hollywood Helper?
Yeah, because it keeps going with Hollywood Helper.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so having watched this movie, what did everybody think? This being this normally I've seen the movie 1,000 times and it's something that I really like, and I'm showing it to you guys. We had sort of a special field trip this time where none of us had seen the movie. I haven't seen it.
Let's kick it off with you. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. It was something that I have never seen before, and I'm sure I will never see again. It was very much when I saw Human Centipede years ago. I was like, man, that is some fucked up shit. And this was the same. Of course, I have my nitpicks here and there. What about you guys? What do you think?
It was touched in a way that was bad.
It's the most bizarre thing I've seen in a while. I think it's what you said, right?
Yeah, like the first time you see it,
Oh man, it was so. I thought it was gonna be the big reveal at the end, and it wasn't.
Here, yeah, no, it was halfway through that shit.
As soon as you see
That
the
part
walrus,
was cool.
Mm.
They did a really good job.
You got
on
to
that.
spend a lot of
Crazy.
time with the
Yeah, a
walrus
lot
man.
more time than I feel
Yeah.
like. I think I feel like I need a couple more days to process it.
I was pleasantly surprised. It was way better than I thought it was gonna be.
You thought so?
I didn't care for it.
Colby
Much
didn't like
less much less gory than I thought. I thought it was gonna be like hostile.
Yeah, there was
hunting
hardly
horror.
Which is
any.
what you were saying, and
Yeah,
I thought it was
so
gonna be
much.
like Hostel or something. So I was like, oh god damn
I'm
it,
so
more like
happy.
torture porn bullshit.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
Yeah, and it was just.
It's a whole nother section of.
I enjoyed the weirdness. I thought it was funny. I liked it.
It was certainly, like I said, something that I've not seen before. And I don't just mean visually, like turning a guy into a walrus, but the very tone of the movie was bizarre.
Yeah, like
It was
Weird.
the whole
bizarre.
time I was watching it, I'm like, this is a Kevin Smith film?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen that many of his movies, but it's so different from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Except for the really long, extended talking scenes with Guy.
Oh my gosh.
It's too
We'll
long.
get to that.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
did you think?
Wow. I thought Michael Parks was pretty great.
Yes.
But this
What do I
movie
know him
did
from?
solidify
He's in Kill
my
Bill.
distaste for Justin Long. Like, I feel always
What?
bad saying I don't like him because he's like the male equivalent of like America's Sweetheart because he's like the funny, average-looking jokester guy.
That doesn't go
feel-
very far with me though.
Yeah.
I don't like average looking people.
But his acting at the beginning was so bad and his character was such an asshole that I really just wanted him to get butchered. And then when he did, I was like, man, he is the worst walrus I've ever seen. Like, literally.
Do you not like Kevin Smith then? Because I felt like he was channeling his soul like the whole time he was acting.
I feel
But
like
see, you can
Kevin Smith is
see
very
that. Like, you can
grating.
just watch him and know he's acting. Like,
Yeah.
he's not real.
I guess
He's
that's
pretending.
true.
I feel like Kevin Smith is that is Kevin Smith, and I feel like he's probably a prick and whatever. And I whatever.
So,
that's
I
how
don't
he
think
is.
he's
He's
a
made a career of
prick,
that, but
though.
I don't feel like I like him.
And I feel like any Kevin Smith movie I'm gonna be okay with just because I, liked Mallrats and Chasing Amy and stuff. So he'll always have like a place in my heart. But I would never turn my back on him after something like this. But I didn't really like this.
Fair enough. I think definitely in the same way where if you watch any Woody Allen movie that isn't starring Woody Allen, the character always acts like Woody Allen.
Well, I mean,
I did not like Woody Allen either.
I've never seen a Woody Allen movie, so I'll take your word for
have
it.
you seen Ants? You seen
Oh my god, that movie was so bad.
That's a Woody Allen movie.
But and even with this, I think that the way Kevin Smith writes dialogue is the way he talks.
Yeah.
And so Justin Long doing the Kevin Smith dialogue, it kind of comes across just like Kevin
Yeah.
Smith.
Well, and when you give your main character the same backstory that you have,
Oh,
Yeah.
no kidding, yeah.
Getting high and crying over Winnie the Pooh and all this stuff.
yeah, and
Yeah.
making a podcast.
Kevin
yeah.
Smith really do that?
I'm sure.
Yeah. I think I
guess
could.
you guys have
Who
it.
doesn't cry during Winnie the Pooh?
I
But
watched it.
yeah,
You have no soul.
um,
You cry though. You love Fault in Your Stars.
It was a good movie.
one of the things
Movie.
I'm kind of with Kathleen on this one is that you really catch Justin Long acting a lot. Michael Park
Yeah.
and him in the same scene was kind of
Oh.
like it was like putting me in the ring with Anderson Silva. I'm gonna get my fucking head kicked in, and Michael Park is so good that he just made Justin Long look way bad.
It's
good.
amazing.
I was just
Yeah.
think that was like the I guess a crowning achievement of this movie is that guy is a good fucking
my
actor.
Oh,
man.
he's amazing in everything he does. And who knows? Maybe Justin Long was amazing too. But next to that
Yeah.
guy,
There's
By comparison, yeah.
I was just like, God damn it!
I'm trying to think of a movie. I had an example because I had it in my head, but I lost it. There's a movie that was just like that not too long ago. Oh shit, Dracula was like that.
Oh, Gary Oldman and
Gary
Keanu
Oldman was
Reeves?
so good.
Yeah,
and
you
Keanu
go,
Reeves was
oh.
so bad. And
Yeah.
what's her face? Winona Ryder. You're like, ugh.
Don't say anything bad about Winona.
Sorry guys.
It's
Still
Dave's
love her, but-
birthday.
I think you guys are great.
Just to get nitpicky, I wanted to talk a little bit about some things that I noticed, and it might have been something that no one gives a shit about, but I was wondering. Okay, so he goes to this guy's house, essentially, and we'll go over this more with the sinister synopsis. In fact, I'll just start the sinister synopsis right now.
think I know the point you're gonna bring up, and I'm gonna smash it.
Do it. Tell me.
All right.
What's it gonna be?
Do you want to make the point first?
Yeah, you gotta
Okay.
make
Oh,
it.
let me
That
give
way,
you
if
the,
it isn't, I don't look like an idiot.
let me give you the.
Oh, he edited to make it sound like he said something dumb.
Okay, let me give you the setup. Follow us through the darkness of our wasted and festering memories as we struggle to recall the movie we just watched with this week's sinister synopsis. Okay, so what happens is these two podcasters see this video where a guy cuts off his own leg with a katana sword, and the one podcaster, Justin Long, goes to interview this kid, and the kid has died, so he's looking for...
He killed himself, which
Yeah.
is so sad. That, I hate the Star Wars kid. Do you guys ever see that?
Yeah.
I fucking hate that, and it's not funny. And he like went through all this emotional trauma
yeah,
because
I know.
like I just don't. I hate people making fun of other people in certain
gonna-
contexts.
Meanwhile, we're making fun of...
Exactly.
I'm gonna bow out of this because I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, it broke my heart though. It broke
I
my
thought the video
heart.
was hilarious, but only because it's something that, like, I might have done at one point.
I know.
Stepped
It's
on the
one of
sheet and
those-
slipped.
It's something I could relate to. That's why the
It
people
makes
that are
me
horrible.
so sad. Because he was like so upset and he had like started new school.
Yeah.
The thing is, I went and looked at his backstory, which is not good.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah,
I
don't
can
do
guarantee...
But he-
Nine times out of 10, if you were to look downstairs, I'd be doing something with one shot.
That's what's so
And
awful about it, is we
also-
all have those weird, intimate moments where we're doing something so weird,
Yeah,
and
and then
he
you
just
get
took the time
caught,
to
and
record
you're
it.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, that was
So either you're the kind of person who like related to it, or you're the fucking dickhead who knows you've done something like that and feels embarrassed
you
about
know,
it. So
the
like
thing
you're
about
angry at you get all.
It was admirable too because he was doing it as like an audition tape for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Little did he know he dodged
He
a
was
bullet.
he like sent it to what's his name, George Lucas.
Oh. Well, good
for
on
the new
him
episode
for
1
the
through
effort.
3.
Just a fucking kid.
Anyway,
Leave him
the
alone.
he's very successful now.
He's
So
like
good
Qui-
for you, sir.
He's like
Good. I
Qui-Gon
hope-
Jinn.
I hope he makes all the money.
I got Darth Maul.
well, the Tusk equivalent of this kid was the Kill Bill boy, and he
That's totally what they referred
yeah.
to. Too, yeah.
killed himself. So Justin Long's character, I didn't catch his name. I don't recall. Did anybody?
Wallace.
Wallace. I should
So
know.
because they're truly
Oh,
look like
because
Wallace and
Yeah.
Wallace.
it's
Oh.
phonetically like
That
Oh my
makes
god,
walrus.
I'm an idiot. Just kinda-
Yeah, that's clever. But so he wants to find somebody else to interview while he's in Canada because he already spent the money on the ticket and he's already there, and so he finds a handwritten sign in a bathroom about a man who's looking for a roommate, and he has many great stories to tell, and so he calls the guy up and decides to go interview him.
Did you notice too when he was like reading it at his house? There had been a bunch of the little
Yeah.
numbers pulled off.
Yeah, tabs.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh!
Previous little guy.
Okay, so he drives up to Bifrost in Canada. I don't know anything about Canada, so
Sounds about right.
yeah.
A boot.
You mean a boot, right?
And he
Wasn't the Bifrost the thing that Thor traveled on?
That was
in
the
movie?
first thing I thought.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like
thinking.
I thought they were gonna try to
a
reference
Rainbow
that in
Road.
some way or something.
maybe it's
Maybe it's just a real place in Canada.
Yeah, I really don't know. I've even been to Canada and I don't even know.
Thor
Really?
stole it from Canada.
Yeah, but so he meets the man, which is Michael Park, a guy named Howard Howe.
Howie
And-
Howe.
Huh?
That's another like little thing is Howie Howe and Wally the Walrus. And
I don't get how.
Just how.
his name is Howard Howe.
Oh,
like
it's just
if you
funny?
were like if you
Yeah.
started to be Howie Howe,
What's a Howie
I don't
Howe?
know.
that would be his name if you like
Yeah,
call
if
him
you-
Howie.
Yeah.
Just it's funny because how and how.
Because they're like doing that, like it's the same thing. It's like Wally the Walrus, and then the guy's name's Howie Howe.
Oh.
Just
So you-
it sounds similar.
Alright, let's move
You
on.
just
Okay.
talking about the
Howe.
alliteration of the names?
Okay, I'm saying, I'm saying it's stupid. It was dumb.
All right.
He couldn't think of a different name besides Howe.
You
Smith
didn't
Johnson.
need to.
It's a
Different.
perfectly reasonable name. I mean, there's nothing
I don't know.
for or
how
against
that
it. He
was.
had the superhero alliteration. I'm into it. Anyway, so now this was the part that I was trying to bring up. Was he goes to interview this guy, and the guy starts telling him this amazing story, and he's not recording any of it.
Yeah,
He doesn't have any gear.
I thought the
I
same
know.
thing.
I
Was
The
was
whole
thinking
time
the
I'm
same
going,
thing.
you're missing this amazing
Yeah.
story, Mr. Podcaster.
The podcast had been like, and then he was like at this like place, but he was like doing something. Like, what was it?
Oh,
shit.
giant walrus
what
dick
I
and I was
imagine
drinking tea and shit.
is that he kind of was, and that's a very valid point, but he would just go back and make fun of this guy. You know what I mean? Like, call him bullshit on his stories. Like, I could just see that being, like, if he ever went back to America, or, like, got back to LA and was talking about this guy, like, he would just make fun of him.
But wasn't the whole point for him to do a podcast?
Exactly,
with them,
you're right,
to
but yeah.
record it.
I guess that was it.
But yeah, so the whole time I'm going like, he's telling a great story about D-Day and fucking Emerson, and he's got
Met Ernest fucking Hemingway.
Yeah.
Was it Hemingway? I thought it was Emerson. Anyway, so
Ernie.
yeah, so it's like, yeah, where's the gear?
I was saying the same thing. Abe.
Yeah.
So you didn't smash it.
No, I thought he was gonna bring up something else, but he might. He still has a chance.
Is it in the same area?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got for that.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Something else you want to say?
I thought you were gonna ask why he didn't call 911.
Oh, bingo!
And I was gonna.
Is it because it's like 572 in Canada or some
Yeah,
shit?
I was gonna say they have a
No, is it
different
true?
911 in
Canada.
Canada.
But wouldn't it
so
still
he was-
dial American 911?
Yeah, but then they
Son of
transfer you probably.
But wait,
and
But you can still tell them, like, I'm trapped in a fucking
But then you get
house
hit
and
by
this
the
guy's
walrus
cutting me up.
Wallace.
the whalebone.
Yeah.
or the walrus bone.
That shows how stupid I am. You mean when he found his phone? He
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
See, I never even would have thought of that.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, can't we pick up? Fuck!
Okay,
I
Yeah.
here's
literally
where
think-
my issue came in there. He had to use his arms back. Why didn't he go in the kitchen and get a knife and just kill the guy?
He was
Because Colby, not everybody
morphined out.
is like.
Yeah, he
I
was,
mean, if I have the choice between phone or knife, I'm going for my phone.
Yeah.
Not me. The guy just cut off my fucking leg. I'm gonna stab that
I'm
guy.
gonna call the
Facebook
cops
about
first.
okay, wait a
Oh,
second.
shit!
I would take my phone and sharpen it into a blade and fucking stab him with that.
Wait a second. There was something else that I wanted to bring up that I totally forgot about. Okay, at the beginning, when the Kill Bill boy cuts off his own leg, was that a fucking lightsaber? What sword
goes
right
right
through
through
his
his
through somebody's
bone.
leg
Yeah.
like that? I was
The-
like, holy
The
shit.
special effects for that were so awful too. I thought it was like supposed to be fake, but
I know it was. I believe I can't say I know. I believe it was done by the Dave School, where
Yeah,
they're always sponsoring that podcast.
I saw that in the
Whoever
credits.
did that
Yeah.
just got to school.
Yeah, but
I mean,
But
it was
what
a
what
noble effort. But
role, man.
yeah, that was just another one of those little things where you go, okay, it's gonna take a lot to cut through a fucking femur, you know,
Yeah.
and you know,
It was a Hattori Hanzo.
it must have been a fucking.
Sorry, Hanzo
Yeah.
That shit
lightsaber.
goes
It had to
through
have been, but it didn't even look like a real sword initially. He was playing with it. I was like,
sharp.
it was funny, and then bam, cuts off the leg. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Not,
Wait, so what is 911 in Canada? 527? 547?
I just made it.
damn it.
I just know that it's different.
It's like all of the like the hardest letter. I mean, not letters, hardest numbers.
I think it's
like all
just-
like it's like 1, 3, 9, 7.
I think it's 999.
It's a flare gun. That's all they have in Canada.
I know in the UK, I think it's
They're a
999.
little backwards.
Okay, so after he sits down with Howard for a while, and he tells him some really amazing stories. He's starting to aggressively doze off, and it's clear right away to us, the audience, that he's been poisoned. Something has been put in his tea, and he blacks out. He fucking
If I may interject,
please.
112.
Oh, for the
good to know.
Canadian? Oh,
To our
right.
Canadian listeners that are shouting at their screens.
If you're
We might have just saved a life.
Yeah, there you go. Somebody's
Yeah, but a
listening to us
Canadian
right
life
now.
is it even worse?
Oh, shit. That takes a
we
hard
can't make the
stance.
Rodriguez comments. He's bashing the whole
Fuck
goddamn
Canada.
country. It is a lovely place. Anyways.
when I was in Canada, there was this girl walking around, and she had literally just enough bikini to cover her nipples,
She had
and
Ugg
these
boots on,
and these
too?
giant fake boobs. What's that?
She have Ugg boots on too because it's cold.
She had roller skates on, actually,
Oh,
or rollerblades.
Sounds incredible.
And yeah, and she's walking down the street, and this little Canadian guy says, "Hey, nice Hooters," and she gets so pissed off. She says, "You can look, but you don't have to say anything, asshole." And I was like, that was the fucking awesomest thing I've ever seen. Hey, nice Hooters. So and the fact that they had sushi and comic book stores, I love.
Oh, wow.
My time in Canada was fantastic.
Wait, like, as one thing?
No, but we would eat sushi and then go to the comic store, so it was great.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you.
Not like
They
you
had
couldn't get
cervical-
sushi
I
at
thought
the
you
comic
meant
store.
Wow.
yeah, in
Yeah,
the
you can
comic
get
store.
that anywhere.
But it was
I can go any
It's
place before I go
Canada.
another
It's
place.
Canadian sushi.
I'm saying it was cool. and somebody was dressed like Darth Vader playing violin on a street corner. So
Oh,
I got a picture of them if you want to see it.
idea.
I might have got a picture of that girl with her boobs hanging out too, but I can't remember.
I
He's
think
like,
you
you can snap a
remember.
photo, just don't say anything.
It was just so funny. Hey, nice Hooters. That was awesome.
Alright.
Okay, so when Wallace wakes up, he is in a wheelchair and he's, barely holding it together because he's drugged a lot and he has lost a leg. And something that doesn't come into play later, but is fucking genius, is Michael Park is sitting there and he's polishing this bone shaped like a tusk. And the guy's missing the leg.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on
And
that.
you go, oh my god, that's so fucking cool.
He was making his tusk.
I didn't
Yeah.
even
Femur,
get that.
Yeah, the tusk.
Because I was wondering, I was like, why is he wiping that tusk? Like, it's ready.
he was polishing it. He was getting it all ready. He had just
Oh.
taken it. So I'm like, he's.
Oh, because Johnny Depp later on, he said that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they make-
okay,
he makes
part of
the-
his femur. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tibia.
Tibia.
They make
Yeah.
from the
But
tibia.
isn't the tibia your kneecap?
Nah, tibia
No.
is your lower leg bone.
Tiny one?
The
There's the fibia and the tibia. Yeah. So fucking awesome! What a great little detail that was, and it didn't come back until later. So you see it. Yeah, that was awesome. And the way he fucks with this guy was so creepy.
It was creepy.
Because he's essentially, he doesn't give a shit about this guy.
Well,
He's laughing at him, but at the same time he's pretending to be
Yeah.
like, oh yes, we had a doctor here, and he tells him this whole story about how he was bitten by a spider and they had to cut off his leg, and he's just laughing at him really. And of course he's freaking out because he's lost a fucking limb. And he catches on pretty quickly that he's in deep shit. Luckily, like, it wasn't one of those where he's
Like
know.
Keanu.
Yes.
A lot of parallels.
Yeah.
Which again is another part that I was expecting that I was pleasantly surprised they didn't go into for fucking ever, where he like tries to trick him and he's like,
Yeah.
that didn't go.
That
I
was
thought I
nice.
was like, oh god damn it, this is gonna be a whole thing where he like tries to trick him for like a week about and like keeps
don't
having to keep
worry.
the story going on.
The whole thing, those whole things came later in the movie. Because they
Oh,
did
but I
those
mean,
whole
uh,
things later in the movie.
But I mean, it went to him getting his leg cut off, and then
Drawn. the
bam,
fuck
like
out.
he started doing the whole. Well, keep going.
Yeah, sorry.
Go with your
Good
synopsis.
Okay, well, so the next scene we see is that, he's not getting like they do like a flashback thing where he's leaving his girlfriend, and I didn't really feel like this had much payoff. He's upset his girlfriend. He won't take her with him. You get the idea that he's cheating on her and she's upset, and we know that.
Was it supposed to show that there's something good about him, but that never really showed.
He
you know?
used to be a
Old
good guy,
Wallace
but he's
is-
turned into an asshole.
But you never see any shades of him being nice again. It's just him being a dick still to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think the idea is that he's kind of got it coming with his
I didn't.
His
feel
lifestyle.
That.
Not proportional.
I agree. Yes.
Not punishment does not
But
fit the
in
crime.
movie land, you're like, well, fuck that guy. Yeah, let's turn him into walrus. But
Yeah.
then I did start feeling bad for him. But yeah, there's no redeeming qualities of him. He's just a dick.
Well,
And-
if you've seen a lot of Tales from the Crypt, they kind of do the opposite of the save the cat moment, which is popular in screenwriting. You would what you would want to do is have your character do something really good so that the audience goes, "Oh, he's a good guy." And in Tales from the Crypt, you would have, or any such movie, you would have the character do something bad so the audience goes, "Oh, that guy's a dick." And so that's kind of what this scene was there for, was for you to go, "Okay, this guy's kind of an asshole. Let's maybe relate a little bit with crazy ass Michael Parks who's cutting him up and making a walrus because it's awesome." I think that was what he was shooting for, but it didn't really have the payoff I was waiting for at the end.
No.
It was pretty much just like, my boyfriend's an asshole, I'm gonna date his podcast friend.
Did they date? Because he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Did
they
they?
were-
But he was
which-
like sleeping the opposite side. Like you never
But
saw
she
them
talked
kiss.
she talked about like how what they were doing to him was wrong.
I think they're
She's
just
I
having
think
an
he was doing
emotional
her.
affair.
Yeah.
I got the
Which,
impression-
by the way,
Uh-huh.
to bring it back to what you said, I will gladly take that short straw and be Haley Joel Osment if I get to bang Genesis Rodriguez.
That was fiction. I'm saying in real life, you would have to
That's all right.
gain like
He does
50
things.
pounds
Oh,
and have a
you
neck
know,
beard.
But he was in his little
Your eyes all
knit
close
hat.
together.
he was
The man put on a little weight.
Yeah,
We
from
all-
7-year-olds and
we all put on a little weight.
He put on a little weight.
All that weight in his neck too. 'Cause it's just
No,
like,
he didn't look.
he looked his all neck and chin.
He's a
He
fine.
looked like a
looking
lumberjack. He's like fit.
Yeah.
But he turned out to be a nice guy. I thought he was going to be a total creeper, but he actually did care about her and was bothered by Justin
Gave me the
Long.
little-
And
Well-
yeah, and I like really thought he was going to delete those messages off the phone, and I was like, "Don't you do it!"
Totally. But
Don't
he
you do
cared
it.
about his friend.
The thing about him though was that he really didn't do anything. He let the girl talk to him, and then he went with her to go find the boyfriend. But his character really didn't.
He looked concerned a lot.
He looked
Yeah.
concerned.
Every scene he was in, he was very concerned.
Yeah, he went with her to talk to the police in the Guy Lapointe, but he didn't really
He didn't.
he didn't
He
really
was
do
there for
much.
moral support.
Yeah. So then we go back to his current situation, and he's having dinner with the deranged Howard Howe, and this is an awesome scene because he's sitting across the table and they're talking, and the whole time Michael Park's been in this wheelchair, kind of wheeling around all creepy like, and then he just gets up, walks across the room, and slaps the shit out of him, which is fantastic because, like, I knew when I first saw him, I was like, that guy is nowhere near crippled.
Well, because he kept crossing his legs in his wheelchair.
Yeah, and
didn't
all of
see
the
him
stuff
cross
around
it,
the house,
He has
Make dinner.
He
Who's
has
making
like a
him
machine
dinner?
that crosses
Yeah.
I've
his
seen
legs.
people in wheelchairs
It's like
cross
a
their
pulley.
legs manually.
Yeah.
Good arm strength.
His
Yeah,
physical therapist comes in and is like,
Just needed assistance.
it was a nice reveal though, because you got to see that he wasn't anywhere near, vulnerable. He was very much in control, and Justin Long was of course in deep shit. And then he just went to work and he fucking made him into a walrus.
he
Like
made
so
real quick.
quickly. I
Yeah,
thought that was
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be so drawn
Yeah,
out.
I thought
he
it
said,
was-
I got a walrus suit ready for
Wasn't
you.
there a scene in the preview where he was all hacked up and he was like trying to talk to somebody? They never showed that in the movie.
No, I didn't.
I
remember
haven't
that.
seen very many previews.
Oh,
I
I'll
don't
have to
know
watch.
about that.
I'll have to watch for it, but yeah, he was just like, okay, you're a walrus now.
Oh.
But he even said that like he had made this walrus suit to put him in, and because it was way big. I mean, he was a little guy and he made him into a big fucking walrus. So I don't know what was in that suit, but it was cool. And
It was so gross.
Yeah,
That was a
Okay.
fucked up reveal.
Yeah.
That will haunt me now. Like that gross little bald head and his like little eyes,
little
little human
raccoon.
eyes.
Okay,
Oh,
here's
God.
the what I was thinking the whole time during this. Why didn't he just get a walrus? Why did he turn a human into a walrus? If he loved his walrus so much,
Holy
why didn't he just go
shit,
get
Cole.
a new walrus?
He obviously had money.
And like even like he kept like
He had a
referring
whole
to
tank.
him as the walrus name. Like you're not like my new walrus, you're my old walrus. Why didn't he go get a walrus?
He wasn't right in the head.
Okay.
Wow.
maybe
That would have made the movie way
That would-
shorter.
yeah.
well, wait a second though. Maybe
This guy playing with the walrus.
maybe I have an answer to that question, and I could be wrong. Okay, so the whole reason that this guy, and this comes right to the end of the movie. The whole reason that this guy wanted to make this walrus was because he was lost at sea and was saved by a walrus, and the walrus was his companion, and he ultimately killed him and ate him. And the guilt from killing this creature that had saved him and kept him alive,
Well, the only
was
good thing in
haunting
his
him his
life
whole
because he
life.
had a really shitty life.
Yeah, and so what he wanted, not necessarily to have a walrus pet, was to have it kill him. And so maybe a regular walrus wouldn't do it. And so what he was trying to do was make a monster
I bet
that
he
would
would get a
kill him.
walrus to kill him.
Yeah, I bet a regular walrus would take
Walruses are
make
so
pretty
gentle. What are you
short work of
talking
that.
You can just lay underneath it and get smothered.
They're smart.
It's not the same.
I heard something like that. They're
It can't be
like, pretty
accidental.
aggressive.
There has to be
actually.
intent.
That's right.
It could be exactly that. Maybe he wanted it to be, a deliberate thing. Like, I am this monster, I've made this monster, kill me. Could just be
That's
they
a
had
good point.
Just gonna, and think it through.
It could be that. You never know.
Maybe he's just a sick fuck too.
What? I wish I would have got their names. The other podcaster and the girlfriend,
Teddy
and
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. No, that was that was racist. Miranda de la Costa de la Rio Cardinal. That was, no,
Teddy and Allie.
Teddy and Allie go see a detective played by Ralph Garman, who was awesome and underused. They direct him to a private investigator, a mysterious man named Guy Lapointe, who only appears in the credits as Guy Lapointe. But we all know who it was. And
no amazing nose.
yeah, amazing. I loved his huge eyebrows.
Yeah.
like
They were weird.
Okay, so he tells them about how he's been tracking this killer for a while, and he thinks he's met him before, and he tells a story about meeting him, and then you get to see a very awkward and uncomfortable scene with him and Michael Park, where Michael Park is playing a handicapped fellow.
It went on way too long, right?
It was.
My God,
I was trying to think of like if
wrap
this was supposed to be giving us any insight into anything, and it really didn't.
No.
It was just
It was
like a Quentin Tarantino-esque like scene, like lots of
man,
dialogue.
it was
Don't-
Johnny
Oh.
Depp chewing the scenery.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny Depp just kept talking and talking and talking, and I was like, just get to the fucking point. Tell him you know where to find him. Jesus Christ.
I thought there was something really interesting about it, though, because, well, they're both doing crazy characters, and here the tone of the film kind of shifted, because at first it was pretty scary. Like all the stuff with Michael Park leading up to that was played really straight and scary, and then here with the introduction of this character, it kind of takes a silly tone. And Michael Park starts playing the simpleton for that part, and I don't know, maybe it was just strange. I don't know how else to
They
describe
didn't
it.
carry it out.
That was my problem with the movie. I found is that it seemed like they didn't pick which direction they wanted to go and stick with it. They were like, sometimes it was goofy comedy, sometimes it was like actual horror.
I disagree
Well, you're wrong.
completely.
What do you think? What do you think is going on?
Well, like the whole movie was played straight, but it's just that the circumstances were so ridiculous that
Well,
it
what
just-
about-
I think
no.
that's what I think too. Is like he had to. They like because I fucked up and I didn't watch the podcast. I don't really know that whole thing, but it was
No,
a
but
dare.
you
It was like a
made it.
dare, right? It was a challenge. They
No.
had to make a
No.
movie.
No, they started talking about it, and they like made up a
We'll
mock.
tell you later.
Oh, we'll tell you later.
See, I
No,
think
but-
they had the premise and they had to make a movie of it, and they just like, all right, we have to make a story, so we have to fill all this
Well,
shit in, and I think they did.
When he was talking to that border
All right,
agent,
I
like
guess I'm totally wrong.
that whole scene,
Shut
I
up,
was
probably.
like, okay, it's gonna be a funny movie. Like I was wondering, I couldn't figure it out from the previews. It's gonna be funny, it's gonna be scary. When I saw like the border agent, I was like, okay, it's gonna be a funny movie. Right back to serious, then back to funny, then back to serious, back to funny. It just they needed to pick a direction and stick with it.
I think it was just like the inside the mind of a madman, and mad people are crazy, and they do funny things
You're saying, like,
unintentionally.
this
That
movie was
wasn't
like
every scene with the crazy guy.
This movie was a study of the human condition.
No, I would not say that.
Deep.
Well, I mean, in a way it was.
Well, okay, so even at the end, during the post-credit sequence where he's leaning against the tree going, I shouldn't have eaten 2 sliders, you can't tell me they're not making a joke.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I mean, clearly
I
that
think the
character was
Johnny
meant
Depp
to
stuff,
be...
because nothing Johnny Depp did was serious. I don't
There's
feel like
the-
any of his stuff
yeah,
was.
there's
Yeah.
I guess that's
He was
true.
doing the squirrely eyes and
Yeah.
stuff.
I guess
There's
I kind
the
of forgot
big-
about Johnny Depp's character.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
the big
One wrench in
spoiler.
the works.
Guy Lapointe was Johnny
He
Depp.
seemed a little like
He-
not miscast, but the whole
He didn't
that character
belong
didn't
in the
belong.
movie.
Yeah.
It was strange, and the accent was strange. I guess he was
He
from a
does an
different part of the
amazing
Was
country.
he like
He's
trying to
uber
do like
French.
Pink Panther?
No, he's
Something
no,
like
he's
that.
trying to be
Peter
French Canadian.
Sellers.
Well, but I mean like Pink Panther, because he's the French.
Yeah. Well, and that
Oh,
was the
yeah.
other thing too. Is
French
like that whole
detective.
scene when he was talking to the simpleton Michael Park, like they were playing that corny French music. So I was like, okay, like this is clearly meant to be goofy,
Mm.
and then you go right back to being serious and so, like you show me like this walrus crying.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, and that's what I meant. Like
yeah.
it was like
But-
there the funny scenes be right after watching Justin Long bawl like a fucking girl, and I'm like,
It's
I
like,
just
to
watched
balance
a
itself
grown,
out.
I just watched a grown man bawling. Like, how am I supposed to laugh?
But wait a second though.
Call me. We take so much exception. to that.
Now, okay, so this is what
We're on the same page.
this is what I think is going on here. If you afterwards they play a little snip from the podcast where he's describing it. And what he's describing, and I'll just go right to the end here and get this synopsis over. They find Justin Long, and he's been forced to fight Michael Park in another walrus suit.
Oh,
Which was
see
fucking
what when
funny.
we say it out loud? It's so weird.
Yeah, it was amazing. And he ends up killing him. And
Michael Parks busts out of the...
Yeah.
And that illustrates my point perfectly. Like, it went from being really funny, a fucking guy in a walrus suit fighting a human walrus, to all of a sudden he's like, my instincts have kicked in, and like, he gets all serious. I was like, whoa, like, it was just funny, and you're just trying to make it serious.
But listen to what... Okay, and then you can say at the end afterwards, why didn't they take him to a hospital and try to fix him and make him halfway human again? Yeah. Take him out. I mean, he was clearly in a suit. They explained that. Why wouldn't they take him out of the suit? Now, the reason for that is because it was funny. And if you think about it, like, if you listen to that little snippet that they put in of the podcast, he's saying, like, and then wouldn't it be hilarious if they come and feed him a fish and they play a sad song and they're laughing the whole time?
The two
like,
of them are cracking up.
This is meant to be ridiculous.
No,
It's a very dark comedy.
It's deeper
It's
than
very
that.
dark.
He killed a man, lost his humanity, so now he remains.
I was just about to say, and
Yeah.
he tells him
no.
he has to go full walrus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is not meant to
Never go
be.
full.
But this is not meant to be.
It's
So serious that you go
It's
like,
no-
what happened here?
I
You're supposed
totally
to
agree
go, ha,
with you.
fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
No,
And then
At the end of the
honestly-
movie, she's like, I love you.
But
Oh, whatever!
But
If
that's
Curtis
the
turned
kind
out
of-
a
Which is so
walrus-
fucking
That's
crazy.
No, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it if they would have made the whole movie like serious, like, oh fuck, you turned into a walrus, but it was like goofy comedy, serious horror.
Okay, who's
No.
running that
But
exotic
if-
animal sanctuary? They'd be like, yeah, that's a pretty cool animal.
They're like, back it
Let's
up.
stick him in the pen in
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
back.
they'd be like,
Yeah,
hold on a second.
seriously.
It looks like
I'm
this
not a
walrus is
doctor.
stitched together.
Yeah, it was not intended to be a straight film in the sense that everything
But they
would make
played
sense
it
logically.
straight.
But they
That's
did.
the
They
point.
played it straight. And then so you go like, this is fucking crazy. And that was the point. Was it's fucking crazy. It's a crazy story.
Yeah.
That's where the comedy comes from, where they're playing it straight in this
Yeah.
ridiculous situation.
Yeah, like when the two walruses are fighting, and it's a man in a walrus suit
And they're
a
just,
man.
they're not even fighting, they're just going, against each other.
And it was hilarious and creepy all at the same time. It was a really strange juxtaposition. It was fucking weird. And I've never seen anything like that.
Never
That's cool.
seen a movie
I
like
pray
that.
I'd never seen that.
Even Human Centipede, the part where he's like shitting in the guy's mouth for the first time, and the doctor is so excited, he's like, "Feed her, yes, feed her." And in my brain, I'm going, "This is fucking crazy." That's how I felt watching this. I was like, "This is madness."
Did the doctor ever address that you can't live off human shit? Like, that doesn't
No,
work
he thought it
that
was
way?
cool.
But anyway, like,
I think he means the same like nutrients would be traveling.
yeah, but
through.
that's
Yeah.
not how it works.
No, because the first
You a
body.
dummy doctor.
But they kind of addressed it because the first body absorbed the food nutrients, the next one was sick, and the next one was sick and dying. So he was watching them going like, "Oh, this one's gonna die."
Well,
That
no
sort of thing.
shit.
And eventually
You
he
never
did.
find out until you try.
And it's like,
Did you see the trailer for that movie and like the diagram he has set up is just like 3 outlines of people with like a straight line?
Yeah, you didn't
I
really
was
know how
talking-
any of that
I
works.
was talking. I was telling people from work about the movie, and I was talking to Rocky about it. I was like, I'm worried it's going to be like Human Centipede level gross, and he's like, "What's Human Centipede?" And I was telling him about that, and he goes, "Is that where South Park got that from?" And I was like, "Oh yeah!"
Yeah.
It's like, yes, that's where.
But yeah, I really do think that it was kind of like Airplane, where you have this crazy situation, but all the actors play it straight. I think it was they're doing the same sort of thing where you have this fucking crazy story, and they're playing it as dramatic as possible. And then they have the like melodramatic music at the end, and he's
Yeah.
got the tear rolling down his eye, and
He's still
it's
got some humor.
and he's still like eating the fish. It was hilarious.
I think that's what makes it so much better for me. I think is that they played it all straight. Because if it would have just been a constant like, hey, huh?
Yeah.
Look at this thing. Look at this thing.
This is
I would have
wacky,
fucking
huh?
hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
would've
but
preferred
see,
it.
if they would have gone full on comedy and made it really gory with a bunch of titties, I would have liked that too. But going this way was something I just never seen before. It was interesting.
It was, and both arguments are valid. I mean, you're
Sure.
right. It wasn't a great movie, but I mean, so,
at the same
we're
time,
both
it
right at the same time.
Everyone's
right. Yeah,
Everyone's
it's-
telling their opinion. That's not funny.
Yeah. It's like the reason people go to see Michael Bay movies is like it's not for the story, it's like for these
Yeah.
visuals,
Yeah.
like ridiculous robots fighting. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Been a
But
long
this time we
since
got
I've seen
lucky.
Michael Bay movie.
And we went for the visuals and the story. No rewarded.
So he fights. They're gonna fight walrus style.
Yeah.
Full walrus.
And he goes crazy. And
Now-
kills him.
Okay, I have to say that my favorite shot in the whole movie was after he stabs him with the tusks. And this is Justin Long stabbing Michael Park's character. They pull up and you see the blood all over the tusk and like his weird fucking walrus face and everything like that. That was so fucking cool looking, and it was just creepy as shit. That was my favorite little scene. But
Save it for pieces and parts.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then at the end when they're like, oh, he's lost his humanity, and they show him crying, like the tear goes like this down his eye and mixes with the blood from his nose and
His
turns
nose
this weird
snot.
brown and like runs off the tusk. It was beautiful.
Oh,
cool.
I thought it was from the fish.
It might have been from the fish.
That's what I got.
Yeah, because he had
Fish
blood all
goo.
over him. Yeah, it was cool though. Okay, let's see. That's all I'm gonna say for the synopsis. So for each movie, Kathleen digs through all the dirt and slime of the filthy internet to bring us this week's terrifying trivia.
As it was kind of mentioned before, the idea for this movie came from a podcast about The Walrus and the Carpenter that Kevin Smith did on the Smodcast. But after that, he asked all of his Twitter followers to either tweet #WalrusNo or #WalrusYes to see if the fans wanted him to make this movie. And obviously they said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Who would say no to that? He'd be a real dick.
But you didn't like it.
I didn't like it. Doesn't mean I would have said no, don't make it. Like, I don't wish I could go back in time and stop it from being made. I just didn't like it.
You'd be like a weird Terminator.
Like, don't make that movie. Guess we'll just
Looking up all the Kevin
see you
Smiths
guys.
in the phone book, going around killing them all.
What do you guys like on the door? Like, you shouldn't make that. Justin. Shut the door again.
You'd go back in time and go, Walrus, no.
Just hang out.
Alright, then this is the first film in Kevin Smith's Canada-based trilogy. The second film is going to be Yoga Hosers, and third will be Moose Jaws.
Wow.
So,
Haley Joel Osment is in Yoga Hosers as well.
Now, is he the
So
lots
he's
of
come back.
people repeat.
They're all the same character?
They just have roles in it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And then somebody had mentioned about the dialogue between Michael Parks and Johnny Depp's character being Quentin Tarantino-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And they had actually tried to have Quentin Tarantino play that role, but he read the script, said he liked it, but wasn't interested in acting at this time. So
That's right.
I wonder if that's why it sounded like it, because they wrote it with him. in
Yeah,
mind.
I could see
would make
that.
sense.
Like, he's going to be Guy Lapointe?
Mhm.
Huh.
That is interesting. Because it did feel very Tarantino-esque.
Except
Except
it
for...
wasn't interesting.
Yeah.
Or a Tarantino
Here's some
dialogue.
Death Proof though. God, that went
No,
on
that was a
forever.
good one.
Once
It
you
was
get
good,
past...
but it went on
If
forever.
you watch the,
once,
the edited
once Kurt Russell shows up,
Exactly.
Then that
But
movie gets
all the
good.
girl talk, which
Ooh, it
I'm a
was
girl,
rough.
and I've had many conversations like that, it's just like, oh, I get it. I get
oh,
it.
it was rough, man.
For as much as I love most of Tarantino's stuff, there was a lot of dialogue in that movie where I was thinking, God, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
This is annoying.
and I did like it, but,
But-
it just,
There was some good stuff, too.
That's when I
the end
mean,
was a great payoff.
if you stick through it, there's a lot of payoff because they die a brutal fucking death at the hands of Kurt
Oh,
Russell.
Yeah.
The leg goes
leg.
flying off. It-
Done by K&D Effects.
It was a cool movie, but
We're
yeah,
on like
the dialogue.
a K&D Effects
was-
roll.
They let him get a little too Tarantino here.
It is time once again to meet your monster.
Alright, this week's is Michael Parks. Would he be a mad scientist?
I'd say so.
I'd give
I'd
him
say
that.
so.
That
I
takes
think he's
some
got a lot
science.
of medical skill.
He figured out how to like turn him into a walrus.
cut off stuff without. Yeah.
He-
Yeah, I would have cut off his leg and he would have died.
Yeah, but, oh, shit.
He implanted those tusks that he made from his legs, so...
Yeah. Oh, we didn't mention that the
Maybe
walrus
artist.
skin was the walrus suit was made out of all his previous victims.
Is that what it
Must
was?
Did you
been.
see like
Yeah,
the
'cause there's
little
a
like
face.
there's
There's
a
ears
face, there's a
and
nose.
eyes.
Oh. That's when I was looking through my fingers.
See,
Kevin's laughing at
I
me.
didn't get that. That's cool. So, but he said that they found a bunch of bodies that were missing legs and skin. Did he mention skin?
Yeah.
Well, because
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I loved when they found the one when he saw the one at the bottom of the pool. It was all
that
rotten and
didn't
shit.
make it. How hard would it be to swim in that
Oh
suit?
god.
And that water
I
would
can't
be
swim with-
poison.
Oh, it'd be gross.
Oh, one little drink of that, you'd have fucking.
Yeah, not to mention the huge
Probably
open stitches.
Yeah, he wouldn't have lived.
He would.
No, he
would've-
keeps it sanitary, like it's chlorine and shit.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, what's the pH balance in there?
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, he was a
That's
mad
actually
scientist.
it's like terraforming. That's what that's doing. It's like making algae and stuff. Get that guy's body making coral out of his bones and shit.
Beautiful, really.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So
Mad scientist.
Justin Long wasn't the monster. In
He
this
was not, no.
He was
Human.
the
Well,
victim
and the
of the
big.
monster.
Well, I don't want to take a theme, but man was the monster as well.
Yeah.
He kept saying.
One man was the monster. Everybody else was
Yeah,
nice.
true.
They're all-
Except for Justin Long. He's a dick.
Yeah,
Who
fuck that
cheats
guy.
on her? She's beautiful.
What if she's a real bitch though?
She
Like
doesn't
nobody,
seem
they
to
didn't.
be. She
They
seems
didn't.
like a very nice person.
They didn't look into that. What if she's really fucking boring? You know,
That's true.
just never says anything. Laughs at really stupid shit. Like
I hate this store face right now. So I don't
He's
know.
like, oh really?
How dare you talk about gender disrespect that way?
It's just daydreaming. Okay, so here on Meet Your Monsters, we like to examine all forms of depravity, and so now for the mathematically perverted, the Colby count.
one body, no boobs.
One body, no boobs.
Wow.
There was boobs
Joe
in-
Bob Briggs would not approve.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this
Yeah,
before.
it's true. There wasn't
A lot of death in this movie.
Mm.
just blood.
But that's another thing that kind of breaks away from the typical horror film, you know.
Which
Usually
yeah,
did
I
you
don't
count
think that
the-
makes the movie. I mean, look at Oculus. How there's no death in that movie almost.
Except
well,
3
a
people.
little bit.
4 people.
Yeah.
I said almost.
So you didn't count the 2 walrus people at the bottom of the tank?
There's 2
I
of them?
figured if you don't see him,
thought there was
I only
two.
saw the one,
Mm.
but
One.
you
Yeah, I
didn't see
think
him
there is
die. It's just like the body.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay.
like you can't watch Saving Private Ryan.
Oh,
and be
no,
like,
you didn't
people are
count,
dead on the beach.
The original walrus in the flashback.
Original walrus.
That
The one he ate.
The one they ate.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, wow.
Fuck it, 2 bodies.
Do animals count?
They do now. First movie they did.
Let's do a retcon on Piranha.
Oh yeah,
Count how many of
another
those
favorite
died.
for the Twitter. All right, fist pump.
What happened?
We got another favorite on our tweet.
Oh.
Kicking ass.
Hashtags are awesome.
And now we
Hashtag never forget.
we honor the artists and artistry that literally put the horror in the horror movie with what we lovingly call special effects.
So the special effects were done by Robert Kurtzman, who is a regular player of, I don't know, any movie, name one.
Can be a
Could be.
thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, you wanted the company. Yeah, he did an amazing job on the walrus suit. It was very creepy.
Oh, so
Very
creepy.
So good.
creepy.
That was the best. For me, I wasn't wait till we got to pieces and parts, but that was my favorite part of the movie. It's
Also,
like, man, that
he only
looks
killed
so
white
good.
people. Did you notice that?
Good for him.
There was some dark skin on there. I saw a few patches.
Is there
I
a,
didn't
Oh
know
yeah,
if
there
that-
were a couple dark.
I didn't, okay, I know you say that. I didn't know
is
if that was
there a
like,
lot of black guys in Canada?
You were there.
Ooh.
Didn't see any.
None of us are qualified to
This
answer
is-
that question.
Podcast
Haven't
is
touched
bordering
it.
on all kinds of xenophobic.
I was asking. I really don't know. I don't remember seeing. But I was in the Navy when I saw them, so there was black guys all over because they came off the ship with me.
Didn't say a hoot.
But yeah, interesting.
One thing that kind of bothered me about the suit is that it, in the end, when it hadn't healed the skin. So was it like not a part of him then?
That's what I thought too. I thought they were gonna do like a
It
healed
hadn't rotted.
version.
It hadn't healed.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Maybe
yeah.
he tanned it like leather or something.
Yeah,
But it was still red in between
Yeah.
the stitching.
Maybe that's just because
But
it
he
looked
used red thread. That's
Yeah,
why.
this wasn't fly on
Okay.
PBS. It's like a documentary about how to make seal suits or water suits.
I really want to know how I make the suit. Seems like a pretty good idea.
Why
to
are
me
you so
now.
interested in Derek? Wait, well, what did Guy, not Guy?
Guy Lapointe,
Yeah,
Well,
he
yes.
said they call him the first wife because
Oh, yeah.
They don't fuck you.
Because they won't.
they don't
They
let
don't
you
let
do
you
any
talk.
talk.
They don't let you leave or go anywhere.
Yeah.
And they won't fuck
Oh,
you.
that's another thing. If you ripped out your tongue, wouldn't you still be
Yeah,
Yeah.
you wouldn't just grunt and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it would hurt a lot. So.
What they should have done is like given him a lobotomy, because that would have made more sense. Because he would have like an animal
Yikes.
brain.
But he wanted him to kill him. He wanted him to be.
Yeah.
But he would have had like
Angry,
an
yeah.
animal brain.
He wanted to
I'm
break
saying.
it.
Animals are smart.
That's pretty much all I got. That suit stole the show, and that was like where the
It
main
was pretty
special
great.
effects
It
were.
was awesome.
Yeah.
They kind of look like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. His
And-
little bald head, I think, was the most disturbing
It
part.
was
But I don't
disturbing.
know. It
No.
And
just,
like the human eyes was
The
super
eyes and the
creepy.
tusks were.
yeah. Oof.
Very well done on the effects side.
He's all just being fat. Yeah, what was all filling it?
I was thinking
Because it
about
was
that too.
when his, that part where his head popped
Yeah.
in and it popped out. I was like, oh, gross.
But I guess I think real world walruses do that, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what they do.
gross. Walkers
They do?
nasty.
I think
Penis next.
Yeah.
Just gonna say it.
we were all thinking it.
Does it shrink when they get scared too?
Is she gonna get scared?
How do women not know this by now? Yes.
Anybody who's seen Seinfeld? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
shrinks
thought it
in
was
the
just when
pool,
you're
it's
cold.
No,
Are you
yeah.
scared in the
too? Yeah, because think about it, it's like a defense mechanism. Because like you're in a fist fight, you don't want to like slip and like cut your wiener off, so it shrinks up in your body.
What are you fighting with?
with their
protective
knife
pouch.
nipples.
You having your knife fight like you do.
Well,
Like you do.
Yeah.
Back like what
I
it
did
was
not-
Neanderthals. That's all they do. They just like try to spike at each other's penises. That's their whole fight technique.
I did not know.
They actually taught us this in the museum.
Shaking his head.
No, it's really just a matter of blood flow. I mean, if you're scared or you're fighting, the
Blood's
blood's
going
going
here.
somewhere else. It's going.
Do you
to
think
your
that
veins
happens
or
like
muscles.
pro fighters too? Like they get back to the locker room and it's just like shriveled
Absolutely.
up.
Absolutely.
They say that like working out like does the same thing
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime you get out of the gym, you're like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, where'd
What
it go?"
Not me.
You're not working hard enough.
Like a cucumber.
Because it's a literal
Hell,
cucumber.
I squeeze my muscles just to try to get the blood back in there.
Give it
Come
a little
back
tug.
to
I didn't know you guys had it so hard.
All right.
You knew, goddamn. The films we discuss on this podcast are horrifying, and sometimes real life is even more fucked up. Brace yourself for the nefarious news.
Well, for this week, so I thought we could tell the backstory of how this movie came to be. Episode 259 of Smodcast, which Kevin Smith does with Scott Mosier. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
They were sent this article featuring a Gumtree ad, which Gumtree is a place where people can find roommates or lodging.
Kind of like Craigslist, isn't it?
Yeah, but with like houses or whatever. Where a homeowner was described as an older man. It was offering room in his house for free if the lodger agreed to dress as a walrus for 2 hours a day.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
And for 2 hours a day, wouldn't act like a human, would eat fish and just do a bunch of grunts, which
Eat fish?
part of he's gonna be feeding fish. And
Jesus Christ.
part of it was
Like
you had to make
crackers.
legit walrus sounds, which you could probably find on the internet. Was specified in the ad.
Wow.
Holy shit.
So the discussion went from there, resulting in almost an hour of the episode being spent on reconstructing and telling a hypothetical story based on the ad. And as Abe can attest to, so many things that they discussed were in the movie.
Yeah.
The ending, the walrus suit part, the swimming part, like...
Well, what I want to say is, because I listen to the Smodcast regularly. While I didn't like the movie, their podcast is hysterical. Smodcast is hysterical.
And this episode was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, and I think in the ad, the guy's talking about he got abandoned, or he got shipwrecked on an island, and he was rescued by a walrus, and his name is Gregory. And
Walrus?
he named the walrus
Oh,
Gregory.
That's a
So,
good
and
name
in
for
the
a
movie,
walrus.
the hockey player that disappeared, that G. Laporte, what was his name?
Gila Point.
Was talking about, his name is Gregory Gumshoe.
Gumtree.
So,
He was
Gumtree, sorry. But,
So they named him after that guy's walrus?
yeah, I think so.
So the real life guy was really rescued by a walrus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Here, I got a fun fact real quick. When they were talking about it and he said he's going to play for the new Nordiques, and he said, this will not give me the old Nordiques. The old Nordiques are the current Colorado Avalanche.
Are you trying to say Nordics?
No, Nordiques. They said the Quebec Nordiques. They moved to Colorado and became the Avalanche.
Yeah.
And then the new
Hometown heroes.
Nordiques are the former Phoenix Coyotes.
I'm not Canadian, so I don't
No, wait, no, I take
fuck
that back.
about hockey.
The Phoenix Coyotes became the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, I don't care.
So I don't know. Well, that hits home because they're our hockey team now.
But I would recommend
Is that what you're trying to say?
Huh?
Nordics.
The Nordics?
What? No,
Like
the Nordiques,
saying it weird.
goddammit. They're the Quebec Nordiques. That's what they said in the movie. Did you guys hear the saying?
I'm pretty sure it's Nordic.
And it's
Oh,
about
we're gonna
kind of
look this shit up. Because it's the Quebec Nordiques.
Well, anyway, that's what like I was kind of trying to get to with my earlier
I
point
can
was
never
that like I
So-
said
The Nordics,
good
we
on
talking
him.
about like it's
Oh,
Making
yeah.
this whole movie, just
But
making
they
this
just-
whole movie out of this crazy fucking idea.
Nordiques.
He went and he did it. He made a whole goddamn movie out of it.
out of just this stupid ad that got
Yeah.
sent, and then they'd start talking about like, well, we could at least get $3 million from whoever the head of Weinstein was, or
Harvey
whatever.
Weinstein.
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein.
So we get this, and they talk about funding, and
Although,
it's just so funny to hear that. And I mean, so many parts so I totally knew how it was going to end, but it was okay up to the part like, oh, we're going to end it with this like sappy song that has nothing to do with the movie, and it's true because it's chilling. But the post on Gumtree turned out to be a prank posted by this guy named Chris Parkinson, a fan of Smith who he hoped to get in touch with so he could be involved in the film, and he hoped he would just get in touch with him and then Smith eventually hired him to be an associate producer on the movie.
Nice.
So
The guy that did the ad?
yeah, so none of it was true.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, is that like some sexual thing he was
No.
doing? But
Well,
yeah.
Yeah,
But it was
so
fake, so it
it
doesn't matter.
ended up being fake. So that's
Wait, you lost me. The ad was fake?
the ad was fake. Yeah, by some comedian from Brighton, Chris Parkinson. So it was all fake.
So a guy made a joke that turned into a podcast that made into a movie.
Yeah.
That
Can
made
you-
it into another
That
podcast.
made it into another podcast.
Oh yeah.
It's getting meta up in here.
Yeah. So he's from the UK, and so yeah, it's just crazy to see like their wheels are turning. There you go. So no real creepy guys telling people to dress like a walrus.
I'm really kind of bummed out that
Would
it
you do it
wasn't-
for free rent though?
I would.
Yeah, I would consider it. I don't know if I'd do it.
2 hours?
2 hours a day.
Maybe if it
I
was like
spend that
30
much
minutes.
time watching TV.
If I
can
could
just do that
swim
in a
around
walrus
and like watch TV or something, maybe.
It's not
Rent
walrus
is
If I
fucking
see, but you'd have to
expensive
go to
these
work anyway, because you still have to buy other shit.
Yeah.
So like, if I have to go to work all goddamn day,
And then come
and
home.
yes.
I've been working all day and I gotta dress up this damn walrus.
Would you have to work all day? You don't have to pay rent anymore.
Yeah.
You
That's
gotta-
like
job.
2/3
You
of
don't
your
want to do that for
income.
the rest of your life though, man.
And you wouldn't even buy food because you'd eat all that fish.
Yeah, fish. So like, you could work like 15 hours a week and still have a comfortable living. And all you gotta do is like.
I'd have to talk to the guy and see if he'd like give me days off
Yeah.
and like.
Would you drink his tea?
I don't like
Yeah,
kids.
probably. Yeah. Seems like
Apparently that was a
relaxing.
badass
I had
tea.
to-
Amazing too.
Dude made delicious
It's like
tea.
I was
this
looking
time.
to unwind. How about some of that tea? Had a rough week and I want to get some sleep.
These legs
It's like
sure are
NyQuil.
heavy. Maybe you could cut one off.
Hours of effort and creativity go into making a movie, and there's always some asshole just waiting to shit on it. Chloe. And so on behalf of the underappreciated horror filmmaker, we are here to take revenge with the critical critique.
My God, they've all gone.
So this one's gonna be kind of difficult because I wouldn't say that any of us disagree with these bad reviews. Most of them are fairly positive. They just kind of they talk about the same things that we were talking about. How like the tone changes a lot and how you can't really get a good feel for how you're supposed to feel about the movie. There are a few that are really stupid ass puns, or I don't know. Turns out the walrus wasn't John or Paul. Clint O'Connor said.
Oh.
What a fucking good one.
I am surprised they never referenced that in the movie.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vincent Mancini said Tusk, based on one of Kevin Smith's Smodcasts, makes a strong case for a smintervention.
Ooh.
Oh, that intervention, that didn't make any goddamn sense.
No,
That guy
It's
needs
just-
to find a new fucking career, 'cause that is horrible.
I didn't think it was very good. I didn't smell like it.
What was its Rotten Tomatoes rating?
44%, I think.
That's not enough.
Higher than I thought it would be.
39, sorry.
39.
I think it was 44 yesterday.
Oh, it went down?
Yeah.
Is that our fault?
Everyone can just sense it.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's hard to really tear into any of these guys because they're actually really well thought out reviews and they are pretty correct.
So you found reviewers that actually do their job well?
Yeah, I mean, besides those stupid assholes with their stupid puns.
Whoa.
Did
In case they're
Did
listening.
you see a ghost?
Oh, I thought this was the part where we call them assholes.
Yeah, fuck them.
No, you can totally call them assholes. Those puns were shitty.
Yeah, it's not slander if you just call them names.
If I can do it, then they're shitty.
Yeah, so...
Unlike our puns, which are fucking awesome.
Brilliant.
Spot on.
Notch.
Special effects, come on here.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's some wordplay
That's
wizardry.
still
I would say our puns are smug great.
I agree.
Oh, you said something.
I second.
Amazingly positive, even like the rotten reviews.
So it got a low rating and a bunch of bad reviews, but all the bad reviews are positive.
Yeah, basically
That's
they
shitty.
all say like,
like,
yeah,
wait.
it's a pretty good for being what it is. Like, it's just a crazy ass thing based on a crazy story, and like it has its good parts and its bad parts.
Ooh, also, not C podcast. That's not cool. Like that would not get a good following.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't
I know
fly.
that was the point of it all, but that is not cool. Bunch of like they dressed up as little Hitler people on the posters and stuff. It's like, oh,
Oh, I found another shitty
I'm not okay with our
wordplay.
creative going that way. Just so
More shitty wordplay here. There's a fine horror movie film inside Tusk, but it's only 20 minutes long. The rest is just blubber.
Oh,
That's actually not bad.
Yeah, that's that was alright.
That was kind of a good.
Although
it would have been a great short. Like it would have been they would have cut a lot down.
Not even a short. If they had cut about 20 minutes out of Johnny Depp's dialogue, it probably would have been pretty tight.
The only part, okay, like I can understand if you get a guy like that, you want to use him, but he didn't really fit to me. And then another thing too was all the bullshit with the close up of the girl crying while she explained.
You didn't
And they
like
did that.
I
They
didn't
did that
like
with
that
him
because-
too, like the slow.
Well, who cares?
With G-Lo.
I got
Point?
like the comparison when she was going down on him, and then it cut back to him doing the same sort of breathing coming out from under the surgery.
Dude, who thought he was doing something to him when he came out of surgery?
Yeah.
We're three of us are raising our hands. I thought this was gonna go sexual. I was like, oh no!
The hell's wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen too much.
It just seemed like they were really trying. Well, I don't know. Remember they did that close up of the girl crying and Les Mis and everybody loved it. I'm like, oh come on, I've seen this.
I think it was like he was trying to build a big reveal that we all knew was going to happen anyway. We all knew
When
it
you
was
saw
going
his
to be
little
Haley
short,
Joel.
fat hand, like I
That's me.
called that in the trailer, didn't I?
Man, that poor guy
It's,
puts on a little weight and the whole world shits at him.
I feel like he's a wonderful person, probably.
He's got the same eyes and eyebrows as George Bush.
don't say
They
that.
look like teddy bears. Like
What did this kid ever do to you guys? Didn't you see Secondhand Lions? It was a great movie.
He does amazing
good. I like
voice work
Secondhand
in
Lions.
video games.
He does video game voices?
Yeah.
I never
He's
met
a-
anybody
he's
else
Sora
that's seen
from
Secondhand
Kingdom
Lions.
Hearts.
It's just you and me, Abe.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Secondhand Lions. It had Michael Caine and Robert Duvall.
But he wasn't
Did I
old
do
there. He was like a teenager, wasn't he?
It was probably like,
Good for him, though. I really liked him. I feel like I liked his character.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to Haley
He's
Joel.
lovely.
It just made me a little. Ugh.
I don't know.
you just are opposed to his face.
Pay It Forward, wasn't he that good in that?
Yeah, it wasn't paid for.
Very
Aw.
sad movie.
Oh, damn. All right.
See, and I blame Helen Hunt for that.
Well, she deserved it.
I always liked Helen Hunt.
You would.
I did.
Correct.
That's a great.
Okay, let's get meta about murder with Matt's themes and tropes.
Hold on one second.
Good
What?
evening. Two communities are fighting for their hockey lives tonight: Quebec City and Winnipeg. Cities with little in common.
They're
except
gonna say it
membership
here,
in an
and you guys are gonna feel like ass
exclusive
wipes.
National Hockey League.
Nobody didn't believe you.
I think I'm
None
gonna.
of us.
No, you can say I was mispronouncing Nordic.
You just pronounced the Nordic.
Until after the.
You said
You said Nordique.
It is Nordique. It is spelled Nordiques.
Oh.
It is Nordique.
I thought it was Nodi.
Thank you.
But
all
I
of
don't want
me
until
an
somebody else
apology.
But he
says
didn't say it.
He didn't say it.
Oh, we'll get to that. Do your tropes.
But
I'm gonna make you
Let's
guys
not
look
leave
like
this
fools.
unfinished.
I don't care one way or the other about the hockey team. I thought it's cool that they became the
Carl's
Avs.
gonna
though.
murder us. Gonna turn you into a
A proper speaking white man.
Yeah. If you say they're called Nordiques, I believe you.
Okay.
It's French.
I don't.
Oh, I'm gonna make you look like a fool here in a minute. Go ahead, do your tropes, Matt.
What do you mean in a minute? Do it now.
Well, after the
Nick, you're
podcast,
an
we'll,
asshole.
we'll have cake and you will feel silly.
I'll have my cake and I'll eat it too.
Loser
How about
doesn't
that?
get any cake.
Oh no! I take it all back. I agree with whatever you said.
Yeah, so the themes of this movie were pretty tongue-in-cheek. It was very, like, over-dramatic, like, when does man become an animal? And an animal become man? You know, that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that's kind of about it.
When you have to kill somebody with your tusks, with
Yeah.
your tibia bones.
Full
I would-
walrus when you do that shit.
Yeah.
Kind of like Jungle Book.
You know, the absence of the tropes is kind of what made this movie awesome because
Yeah.
there really wasn't anything that you've seen in a lot of horror movies. Although
No.
they did do
Podcasters
the
are dicks.
they they did do the part where he's screaming and then the killer starts screaming too. That he even said was taken right out of Chainsaw.
Mm. I kind of sounded like how I said it.
Oh, trust me. We're gonna touch on that here in a minute. Go ahead.
We should have just got out of the way before.
Did Kevin Smith say that was out of Texas Chainsaw?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
really?
there's a scene where the girl's screaming and the family starts screaming.
There's also a reference to Jaws. He says they're talking about the Siberian great white,
yeah.
and he said he's 25 foot and he has 3 tons on him. That's what the fisherman says about Jaws.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I would say that the lack of tropes is a positive because there really wasn't anything.
Mhm.
It was very unique.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things was a bit of foreshadowing when he's in the bar. I can't remember why he's in the bar. But then,
I think he didn't know what else to do
Yeah.
because he was looking for another story.
anyway, there's that neon H sign, and then it cuts to another sign where it's this other sign that cut off and it looks like an E, and there was double hockey sticks hanging on the wall.
HE double hockey sticks.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was intentional.
So that was him approaching hell.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh. What else did they say at the very beginning, Kathleen? We're like, oh, that motherfucker's gonna get his legs cut off. What did he say?
I don't know. Like, what was I gonna say? Well, he was making fun of that kid in the wheelchair, and his girlfriend didn't want him to do it.
Oh, he said.
So now he's in a wheelchair.
He said
Yeah,
something about he didn't
irony.
need his legs or something like that.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah,
Because the kid got a bunch of attention.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really funny because like what does he care? He got 36 million views.
Yeah.
And then like he's in a zoo where people come to view him all day.
Yeah.
What does he care? He gets
Yeah,
viewed all the
true.
time.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. There's some stuff.
This movie
going
was
on.
actually incredible.
I changed my mind completely.
How did I think about it?
Okay, well, I was going to say the same way, but okay, we'll just get right into this. Now the fun starts with everyone's favorite pieces and parts. I would like to say that everything that Michael Park did was fucking amazing. That
Oh,
dude
so
is so
good.
good.
Agreed.
The stories he was telling, I would wish he would just come and like tell me stories
Tell
while
me all
I lay
the
in bed
tell me
or
all the
something.
fake stories that you guys had.
Tell me stories, Mr. Park. I was
One time I killed a
Yeah.
It'd be hard though, because you'd want to fall asleep because it'd be so soothing. At the same time, you want to stay awake because you're like, what happens?
And
next?
even when he was playing like the handicapped guy, that shit was creepy.
He nailed it.
And
Yeah,
he
it
seemed
was
like
creepy.
a simpleton. I was
Yeah.
like, man, that's exactly how they would have talked.
Yeah, when you guys were talking about that part, I was kind of like, yeah, it was kind of weird, but at the same time, like, goddamn, did he do a good
Yeah.
job?
There was some really strange tension there.
Like, it didn't even, like, bug me that he was acting, like, simple or slow or whatever you want to call it. Like, it was just like,
You take
man,
offense
this-
to that?
Huh?
You take offense to that when people act?
I mean, it can be done shittily, you know,
Yeah.
like, kind of,
Really
that's how they kind
offensive
of make
if you
fun
don't
of
do
it
it
in
right.
Tropic Thunder, like, when they say you never go the full retard. It's
Yeah.
because, like,
You don't.
yeah.
I guess, did you guys see The Other Sister?
Yeah.
That was degrading to
Yeah.
handicapped people.
See, that's what I'm saying, like, it's...
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that scene when she's like walking out of the way, she's like, Daniel! I'm like, dude, you're just making fun of retarded people.
Right?
You guys are bastards.
Yeah, he was just acting circles around Johnny Depp in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's not
Johnny
fair,
Depp was
though.
out of his.
They didn't give Johnny Depp, like, if he had a role like that, it would have been a good showdown, but he's playing like a goofy character, so.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
I guess,
But
yeah.
but whew,
A caricature.
both really great character actors. It would be awesome to see them in a different scene together. But that I think you're right. Michael Park just blew everybody out of the water.
Buddy cops hunting down Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah, that's
Now
a
that-
dream
Yeah.
cast right there.
That would be
Very
quite the
difficult.
show.
That should be the 3rd season of True Detective.
Oh shit! We were talking about that too. Yeah, that is fucking.
3rd season of True Detective is Michael Park and Johnny Depp hunting down Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's amazing.
And Meryl Streep is working there too.
Just
And Jack
because.
Nicholson is the chief of police.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, and also I totally called that Johnny Depp was going to be wearing a weird hat in this movie.
Yeah.
You could just sense it.
Yeah,
guy
that's what he
loves
does in
his
all
hats.
his movies.
I didn't even know he was going to be in this, and Matt beforehand was like, because they showed a trailer to that Disney movie's got
Into the
coming out.
Woods or something.
Yeah, and he said, "I bet he'll be wearing a strange hat."
Son
And
of
sure
a
enough,
bitch.
and
Now
they
that I
showed
think
them-
about it, every movie he's wearing a weird hat.
And it's weird
What's
because it looks
eating
like
Gilbert
Meryl
Grape?
Streep's playing Helena Bonham Carter.
That's
in
true.
that movie.
That's true. He wasn't in Gilbert Grape.
she's that
Does he
good.
wear a hat at all? In that?
She's so bad at home right now. It's my role.
What's amazing though is that Helena Bonham Carter is fantastic, and Meryl Streep is playing Helena Bonham.
She had her same hair.
Yeah,
And it had Johnny Depp in it. You knew she was meant to get that role, but
of
something
course.
happened.
Yeah. He's like, "Where's Helen?"
They had to like trick him, like not let her see like.
Oh, she'll be
Beyonce
on
the
Tuesday.
set.
You won't be here, so we'll just tell you so.
Meryl's just filling in for today.
We're gonna just, CGI
Marilyn-
out her face. Put
Meryl's gonna be your stunt double.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Okay, it's gonna be Michael Park and Johnny Depp hunting down Meryl Streep playing Daniel Day-Lewis.
Like a mustache.
Who else had a favorite part? I really, like I said before, I really like after he killed him, that scene where he's all bloody and fucking shit was scary. Yeah, I really liked everything with the walrus and the bones and the legs and shit. It was awesome.
That was cool.
I like that you see Justin Long a couple times with the Canadian equivalent of like a big gulp.
Yeah, what was
And-
it called again?
I
Like
don't know.
chug and lug.
Yeah.
But then you see him like right when he gets his leg cut off, the guy gives him one of those, and then you see him as the walrus, and there's one of those in the background, and then at the end when he's in that pen, there's like
Oh,
a litter of them
yeah.
all over the place. So you don't lose all of your humanity.
Yeah, he still
Everybody
likes-
likes soda,
Of course.
in big containers.
Anybody else got anything?
My favorite scene when he was talking about like the greatest question since the sphinxes and pyramids have been built has been whether man has been a walrus all along.
That was funny.
By
And it was
far-
played so straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny to say out loud, but like you said, it
Yeah.
was exactly.
I thought that scene with the border patrol agent that was really funny when he was crossing the border.
Can of do's and can of don'ts.
Yeah, it's like he goes, sorry, sorry. And he's like, we're red and white, but we're never blue.
By far, my favorite part was the walrus fight at the end.
Oh,
hysterical.
My gosh.
And that music playing while they were fighting.
That would have been interesting to film, wouldn't it? Okay, guys, go for it.
Try and keep a straight
Michael
face.
Park in his little watch, like, what's my motivation?
He's slowly fish.
And action.
As a method actor, Colby, how would you do that scene?
Yeah.
I would
How would
just
you
hang
prepare?
out I would watch a lot of Walrus videos on YouTube.
Okay.
There's a
You
lot.
wouldn't fight a walrus just to see how it felt?
That's taking it too far.
Do you not respect your craft?
That's true. Daniel Day-Lewis got pneumonia when they were making Gangs of New York. So if I can get pneumonia, I can fight a fucking walrus.
Get him off his nuts.
He's really good.
Is he your new Fault in Our Stars?
He was the Fault in Our Stars before there was Fault in Our Stars.
He created the fall.
Imagine if he would have been in that movie.
He is a fantastic actor.
Great.
He's wonderful. I just,
Oh, Kathleen, tell your
got a lot of
joke.
passion.
Tell your joke.
Oh yeah. What's it called when Batman leaves church early?
I don't know.
What's it
Christian
called?
Bales.
Oh!
That's my fourth time today with that joke.
Fourth time laughing too. That's good every time.
That was a good one. Okay, in closing, to feed the sun god with junk food movie dialogue, we offer unto you the Quetzalcoatl. Did anyone me get a quote.
Jesus, totally forgot to.
My quote is the same as my favorite scene.
Oh, I got one. They said, "We're not happy. We're optimistic. There's a difference."
I think Justin Long's pretty goddamn funny when he's just coming out of his drug-induced nap, and it's like there's no leg there. That's one of my favorite parts. And then he's just like, "What?" He's like, "No," to just everything he's saying. Yeah, alright.
I fucking I had set it upon myself to memorize one of those really nice poems that they said at the beginning. I fucking forgot it on the way home. I had no idea.
There's
what it was.
poems in yeah, really?
Yeah, they kept quoting all these great poems and works, literature and stuff.
What makes me
Like,
wonder is like
don't
Kevin
do
Smith's some
anything
very well-read, learned.
Yeah,
smart.
didn't you watch
Smart.
Clerks? Like each scene opened with
Yeah,
a
I
really
watched
fancy
it.
schmancy
It wasn't
word.
that great.
Whoa!
Whoa! All right,
He's
that's
throwing down the gun.
Okay.
You went to
Shut
film school and you said that?
Yeah.
Let's get the hell out of here. Let's get out of here.
I like this one.
That's weird.
Kevin Smith is definitely a smart dude.
Yes.
How old is Kevin Smith's daughter?
16, I want to say.
No,
Weird that you knew that offhand.
Yeah, I think he just said on a podcast recently that she turned 16 or something.
Oh.
I think maybe. No, she wasn't that old because in one
I'm
of
sorry, that has nothing to do with
in
it.
Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, he was talking about how Jay had to drive her to what's the big music festival, Coachella, because she's not old enough to drive, so she's 15.
Oh, there was one other thing that I want to say was amazing about this movie. The poster.
Yeah.
So
The
good.
Oh,
poster
yeah.
was amazing.
So good.
It goes up into that little
House on
Cliff.
the house on the cliff and
Mm-hmm.
the tusks sticking out. Okay, we have something new. meetyourmonsterspodcast@gmail.com. We now have an email address. Please send us any sort of ghost story you might have or
Fan mail.
scary
Hate mail, we
story.
don't give a fuck.
Will we read
Critical
'em?
critiques.
Well,
yeah. If somebody
because
sends
I'd
us
like
a,
to do that.
you're gonna send us a ghost story.
No, I'd like to read the good
Oh,
ones.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't you just tell us?
Like,
one?
yeah, right here.
You don't have to
There.
send it.
But yeah, so if anybody's listening out there, anybody, so yes, please, if you have any scary stories or want to recommend movies, most of the time I pick the movie, but I would be open for suggestions.
Chit chat.
I'm pretty sure I suggest Little Shop of Horrors like every day.
You do, and one day we will.
We also have Facebook.
Also, send us pictures of your dogs because we love dogs.
Aww.
Yeah, and any topless photos are always cool.
You could put
Make
work.
sure you're.
If you could work a topless photo with your dog,
Oh no!
Perfection.
I don't think. I'm
No,
gonna
'cause I'd
do
be like,
that.
"Aw."
It's a weird combination.
No,
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'll block you and report you to the police. We also have Facebook. Just search "Meet Your Monsters" podcast, or just "Meet Your Monsters."
Meet Your
Kathleen is.
Meet Your Monsters podcast.
It just comes up automatically.
We have a Twitter. It's MYM podcast. Because some asshole took "Meet Your Monster."
Dick.
Some band beat
Yeah,
us to
fuck
it.
them.
Oh yeah, some emo-looking band.
That hasn't posted since 2012. Give up your
Yeah,
fucking domain.
you've broken
man.
up. Just admit it.
Right?
Are you
So,
kidding?
know.
They're in the
Hiatus.
studio
Mom
right
won't let
now.
me use the garage anymore.
So you know,
I
let's
think
get
they make good
social,
music,
people.
so.
Please talk to us.
Yeah.
They speak to me,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy this.
speak to my heart.
A real good bass player. Nobody cares about the bass player.
Aw, you like the bass player.
Except for Paul McCartney, he was cool.
He was a bass player?
He's an everything player.
But he was the bass player for the Beatles.
What about Les Claypool?
Don't know who that is.
I know that.
What?
The guy from Primus.
Yeah.
He plays bass.
I think he's a big fan of the Nordiques. Matt.
Oh, so here's where it comes full circle? Are you going to prove me wrong now?
I don't know, what's that?
Oh.
No, that was a dictionary one. This one has it phonetically spelled.
Ooh.
And how is it spelled?
Nordic.
I'm
Nordic.
pretty sure.
Nordiques. I am all positive it is the
Canadians say
goddamn
stuff weird,
Quebec
though.
Nordiques.
It'd be real weird if we have to edit this part out at the end.
Not edit it. I don't give a
call me
shit.
Sarah
It's going for a
Canadian.
I'm just
fucking
going to make it
hour.
look like I'm right anyway. It doesn't fucking matter.
Nordiques.
Yeah. It'll be cool. We go like, you are so right, Matt. Thank you for not hitting me again.
With my voice in one of those.
Well, this like I said, this has been really cool because we started doing the podcast because Kevin Smith made a podcast and ultimately it seemed like fun.
Thanks, Kevin.
And then
Okay.
how
Okay,
cool
listen,
that he made a
Mr.
horror
Smith.
movie.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Mr. Smith. And then how cool that we actually got to talk about one of his movies. I've been a Kevin Smith fan since fucking... I saw Mallrats before I saw Clerks, and Mallrats is still my favorite. The movie's so fucking funny.
It's better than Clerks, I will say that.
Yeah, Mallrats was so great. And I like Clerks too.
Come at him. Come at him, internet.
Yeah.
Get mad.
Yeah.
Tell us how wrong Matt is at our Gmail.
I would love to hear how
Or
wrong I am,
Twitter.
because I'm
It's
just
gonna be
right
from
all the
Colby's
fucking
emojis.
time.
It's just pictures like this.
He's flipping off.
Yeah. How wrong is Matt? Meet Your Monsters podcast at
Yeah.
gmail.com.
There you go.
I decide.
I would love to have a segment where I could just read about how wrong I am. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be like mean tweets.
Yeah.
Oh, you
If you have
be
mean
careful.
tweets, tweet us, too.
You'll get a million trolls.
Good.
Be careful.
We need some action on our.
Yeah,
gonna do
we need some
that.
action on these pages. And
Please. Mean tweet
This is
us.
gonna- Matt was so stupid when he couldn't pronounce Nordiques. That is the end of Meet Your Monsters for this week. Our very special edition, Abe's birthday field trip podcast. It was awesome. Thanks to my friends for hanging out with me. That's you guys.
Yay.
Thanks to Jilly for being our first ever audience member.
Yay.
cheering
It's
section.
not dogs.
Who could have been a special guest but chose to remain silent.
She's nodding right
Yeah.
now. Winking.
And thanks to you at home for listening. If you want to follow along, next week's movie will be... It's got Kevin Bacon in it.
Tremors.
See, I lied to you guys. It's not going to be Tremors. It's going to be Stir of Echoes.
Fucker.
Stir of Echoes. Oh.
Have you seen that one?
I've-
I just said, oh.
It's
What
just
a
that
letdown.
episode of Will
No,
and
it's
Grace
good. It's
with
good.
Kevin
It just made me sad.
Oh, it's sad movie. I figured I'd go highbrow with this one, get some more serious horror. Have you seen this one?
No, I've never heard of it.
Excellent. You're going to like it. Okay, thanks everybody.
Bye.
Bye.